Looney says good morning. He's joined us again for morning meditations. He took a long time off and he's back in the fold now. I'm going to have to get Looney Cam so that there's a view of Looney because most of the people subscribing on YouTube would, there'd be many more subscriptions if Looney was part of the meditation. I know where my bread is buttered. Anyway, this topic this week is our latter days shall be better than our former days. And I was thinking last night, what right do I really have to express this out to the world? Because, maybe people don't really think that way. Um, and the validity of that, it seems to me like maybe some people are early bloomers in life, some people are mid bloomers, and some people are late bloomers. I was thinking of designing a line of underwear for seniors called late bloomers. What do you think? Anyway, uh, the reason I bring this up is I like watching podcasts and interviews, and especially a fellow named Rick Beato. He's probably got the number one musical podcast on the internet, as far as I know, and he interviews so many great musicians, these incredible archives of musicians now, many of whom are in their late 70s or even into their 80s or beyond. And he's interviewing them, and it's this incredible library of stories of great musicians. And last night, he launched an interview with a guy named Jeff Skunk Baxter, who's one of the great guitar players of the late 60s, 70s, 80s, etc. But uh, I mean, the stories that this fellow tells of growing up, he grew up working in a guitar shop on 48th Street in New York City, where, only the likes of Frank Zappa, Jimi Hendrix, Andre Segovia came in and he repaired his guitar before a show at the Carnegie Hall. So, I mean, this kid, when he was 16, 17 years old, and then he met the guys in a band called Steely Dan, you might be familiar with them, and went on to do session work, Doobie Brothers. But then he also went on to be a contractor for the Defense Department. He designed missiles. This guy's got stories like you cannot believe. And I'm thinking, I wonder if he thinks his latter days are going to be better than his former days. And, you know, I guess it's truly up to each and every one of us whether we think that our greatest days are out in front of us. And that it's okay if we think that we've bloomed or that we've peaked and that we've expressed our greatness to the world and we've made our contribution and we're not going to die with our music still in us. But I think that's for each and every one of us to decide. And what would be the criteria for that? I think it would be your own personal internal feeling, your own sense of, I've got so much more greatness inside of me, and I'm only scratching the surface, and that I'm simply insisting that I will achieve my destiny, I will fulfill my purpose, and I will be all that I was meant to be. So I think this is a personal decision, and I don't think it can be forced upon anybody, and I think it's whether it compels you or not. But if you really believe that your greater days are out in front of you, that your latter days shall be greater than your former days, then more power to you. And I think it's that sort of attitude and opinion. And this is not to say that we haven't had the most amazing stories. Each and every one of us could be on a podcast and tell stories that would blow the minds of so many of us. And we're just scratching the surface. And my worldview is that I'm just scratching the surface in my latter days in terms of the influence. How shall I sum this up today? The richness of life is only being approached, and it has by no means been exceeded or consumed. If you're in that group, can you say amen? And let's keep examining this. Okay, my friends, have a beautiful day. Make today your greater latter day. See you.